Okay, I think I was just talking to myself for about 10 minutes. Can you guys, I hope you can hear me now. Can you hear me now, Yodeler? Anyway, carrying on, I'm just trying to fish out a peak here. Like I said, a lot of people can come and fish this place in the Sunny Peaks, but sometimes I like to rotate around just for fun. Okay, good. All right. Oh, no, that's going to pop up on the... Okay, let's see here. I'm just learning my way around on the stream, and I actually just got to figured out how to share the broadcast with the help of my son. So I figured I'd do something a little different than just posting the videos. Try to do some live fishing and see how I do. Again, at this lake, I don't fish for carp in real life, so to speak, just usually by mistake. I normally fish for bass, crappie, catfish, that sort of thing. But I've grown very fond of the lake, and since I've figured out how to spot and stuff, so. And this is a beautiful map, so I'm gonna give it a try today live and see if we can still catch some fish. If it gets too slow, I'll go to a better peak or try a night or something. But I just wanted to start out right here in the rain. Again, one real annoying thing about this map is if you try to, you have to fast forward forever to, I don't know why I did that. You have to fast forward forever to try to find that sunny peak if you go through here. So I just, as opposed to putting all the damage on my gear, I'm going to just fish this out. Again, what I might do is just in a general rule of thumb, a lot of people will just cast all the spot mix out. I might put half of it out or a little over half and go from there and see what kind of bite rates I'm getting. Again, it is raining, so I don't expect a whole lot, but I'm just going to try to perk the water up and see if we can get an action. Also, kind of one tip on Weeping Willow in general, and a lot of the other lakes, if you just kind of look for the deep holes on your map. You guys might have seen me in this spot a lot, but it's just convenient to get to. Now you can basically just pull up your map and look for a deep spot and go out and spot, and you don't have to do 300-foot cast or anything to get them drawn in. A couple more casts and we'll throw some rods in the water and see what happens. I did bring a carp rod just for the try a few different boilies out. Okay. One thing I've also noticed whenever I've, again, going back to, on a sunny day, you could probably just throw all of it out. I've noticed sometimes if I throw too much out at once, it will actually, seems like it just kind of kills the water, but again, we'll test this out. And also, if you could throw your whole mix out and then you don't get anything, that's another subject in itself, but you can end up feeling like you're wasting your time. Again, we're fishing in a horrible peak. It's raining. So I just wanted to see if we can get any action or not. If not, I'll rotate out and try another spot. And sometimes it might be a little slow to start. And again, if we end up getting too slow, we'll rotate around. But again, one thing that's really annoying is when you come to fish this lake and there's only those couple good sunny days. So I've been trying to find a way to keep the action or keep a decent bite rate considering it's raining and all the cloudy days. So I'm trying to do something a little different. Again, I'll try this carp rod. Give it a little bit of time. And I also might play in a competition later. We'll just see what kind of time we make. Okay, now if it starts to get this slow, you might just try to refresh. Again, try not to throw out too much at once. I noticed at least on some of these off peaks and fishing in the rain at night, you can't overdo it fairly easy. So. Okay, finally got some action, but it is raining. Fish on. And of course they're all going to hit at once. Now, normally I won't juggle, but this one might be decent size. Let's want to see. Different. Oh, that one's definitely bigger. Again, everybody has this dilemma, but this one, for whatever reason, I could just tell it's bigger just by the way the rod tip's flattening out. So, just juggling advice when you're trying to determine which fish is a little bigger. And the great thing is when you're spotting, if you lose one, maybe a bigger unique will come back. So, it's not the end of the world. Again, since I'm in the rain and I'm out of peak, I haven't put all the damage and wear and tear on my gear trying to fast forward to the sunny day. And you'll notice on Weeping Willow, the sunny days are kind of far few in between. There's times I've come in here and had to fast forward 9, 10 days just to find a good day. So I've got to where I've experimented a lot doing different mixes just to try to improve the bite rate on other days. So even if it might get a little slow, beats the wear and tear on your gear, especially if you're trying to come here with a big net and you fast forward 10 days, you're definitely not making any profit at all by the time, other than the fun factor of catching the big ones when it's sunny. So, but I'm guessing this one's 75 to 85 maybe, I don't know. But I'll take it in the rain. 80 in the rain, I'll take that any day. So there's a nice start. A little slow to begin with, but again, I usually just let this cycle out. And sometimes you can get too oversized, but nonetheless, since you put the mix out, you might as well try to get 3 or 4 if you can, unless it gets too slow. And let's see. Also, just for the fun of it, I think I'll put the carp rod out and just see if I get a bite on this. Again, I like to just refresh the water, so to speak. Also, I think kind of a comparison, just to see if boilies pick up more, and I'm not that in depth into the carp fishing. Like I said, I don't do it much in real life, but I know a lot of the guys that are on my friends list love the boilies, and I know which boilie to put out on which day. But just kind of a general rule of thumb, I want to say the citrus, the strawberries, the bananas, all those kind of thing. A fruity kind of a bait would probably work better on a sunny day, but like I said, still learning some of the boilies and all that. I did figure out how to do the PVS mesh bags, which took a little bit of time, but I do got that part down as well. I'll show you that at some point. But again, any of you guys that I've said this time and time again, but trying to catch the carp at weeping on cloudy and rainy days can be tough. But I've still found a way to get a little bit of action anyway. We've caught one and let one go, but we did get an 80 pounder. So again, I'll set this out for a little bit and see what happens. Again, we're fishing about the worst peak you can have, really low, and it's raining. And again, just to test. I only brought a couple boilies with me, but we can buy some if needed. Thought this tiger net might pick up something. Now, in theory, the fruity ones should work more on a sunny bed. I'm going to try anyway. That was a small one. In fact, I'm just going to try. And you guys tuning in, I'm just now doing my first stream. I started creating videos a couple weeks ago or a week or two ago, but I've just been experimenting with stuff here at Weeping Willow, trying to fish out a peak in the rain and stuff, because I know it's really annoying to come here and have to fast forward to every sunny peak. We did get 180 pounder. It's still a little slow, but if it gets too slow, I'll rotate and try some night peaks. Again, like I said, a lot of people can go and catch them in the sunny days and grind them out and catch plenty of them, but I've been experimenting with several different mixes just to see what'll happen. I've got all my mix out now, so I'm kind of just waiting patiently to see if another one comes in. Experiment with this. I've been lucky, and majority of the time I can get at least 2 oversized on average. And then I was rotating. This one, for whatever reason, is definitely being a little more of a pain. Could have just been the location. So I'll give it a couple more minutes. If I don't get anything, I'm going to rotate to a night peak. kind of tell what's happening. There's plenty of them out there. The mix has actually brought them in. However, I don't think not, other than the 80 pounder and the one that I let go because I had two on at once and I chose to take the bigger one. It might only spawn two. And if that happens to you, normally what I'd do is either rotate spots, but just for the sake of the stream, I'm probably going to go to a night peak here in a second. We'll try a night peak out. Okay, we were able to get at least one. I'm going to give it a couple more seconds here. Thought for sure I'd get a second one. Alright, let's... we're going to come over here and try a night peak. And this is actually a great spot I just found the other day. I just from experimenting and putting up some videos and stuff on night mixes and rainy day mixes, I found this spot. And a good way of finding a new spot when you're spotting, I think spot does have something to do with it, but just generally speaking on this map, I've just found if you go to any little deep spot like this spot the other day, I just kind of randomly came here just a spot and ended up marking it for a comp, but we'll go to night real quick and I'll put a mix together. In other words, follow along with what I'm saying. Basically, what I do to find new spots, I'll just mark a spot that's fairly close and then I'll spot to it and then see what I end up getting. But I found this the other night and it was fairly active, so I'm going to fast forward to a night peak. And I said I'm not fishing in ideal peaks, but I'm doing this for a reason. I'm just trying to test out and see what I can pick up. So that's not the most ideal time, but we'll go ahead and... I know this night mix as well. I've been able to get some nice oversized, so we'll put that together. One thing I've noticed too, if you notice I'm not going to put grand fish in here. Actually, for whatever reason, it seems like the Catfish Destroyer actually does better in the rain and the night peaks, in my opinion. And again, a lot of people usually won't go over the 2 mark. I'm going to go ahead and go with again, I'm going to go with 3. Just because it's all seasons, which it should be good at in the evening as well, or in rain. Some X flavor, and then Super Taste Mix. And then down here I'll put those in. Also, this one's not very popular mix, but I does seem to work for me on these kind of out of peak and not the best of fishing peaks, so it does seem to help. And obviously, if I wanted to sit and catch big fish after big fish, you can go to the Sunny Peaks, but there's so far few in between. I've been having fun just experimenting, and I don't mind having a little bit of a challenge, even if I get a little bit of slow fishing. And I'm just going to cast about 12 to 17. In fact, another thing I've mentioned before, let me do something real quick just to test out. Normally what happens, in theory you would think, like I said, I don't fish for carp in real life, but in theory you'd think when you put these spot mixes together, wouldn't you want to have your poles on? I've tried both before. What usually happens if I put a rod or two out, assuming your mix works, it seems to work too quick, and I don't know if maybe you're pulling in one too early, or you get more action than you want early. So, but I'll go ahead and put one out just to see. I'll keep that one to the left and see if for whatever reason I get a bigger fish on that side. One thing I will say too, I have spotted a lot, spent a lot of time trying to learn this mix, probably 6 or 7 months ago, just to experiment with different things. And weeping willow in general has grown on me quite a bit. It's a great lake. I can only imagine that the European guys that this are in countries and continents that carp fishing is really popular. That would be a lot of fun, I'm sure. As opposed to the main thing I fish for is largemouth bass that you'd find like on the Everglades on this game and Lake Quanchkin. That's normally what I would fish for in real life. But I can see why this is something that you'd get into and probably really enjoy. I actually pulled up a couple videos on YouTube the other day on people actually fishing live for carp, and that I got a kick out of how much they actually put into it, and a lot of quality people taking care of some great fisheries. So that was pretty interesting to watch. Again, we're at a night peak. We're way out of peak. It's cloudy as well, so I'm gonna keep my hopes up. If I strike out, then that's part of fishing. You don't always catch everything you want, but again, I like going kind of out of bounds, so to speak, and try fishing in times that you might not always fish in. So that may not be the most exciting, but sometimes it's more rewarding if you can catch some stuff out of peak or on not the ideal times. The odd part is on this lake, and I've talked about this before, but when you fast forward, not only sometimes you fast forward and through all these peaks, and on your 9th to 10th day, you finally get the one day that's good. You fast forward to it, and it's supposed to be sunny, and then it's cloudy, and then you're kind of stuck in that mindset of either do I leave the lobby and come back and redo it all. I've did that a couple times too, just trying to find that sunny day, just fine tuning a sunny day mix, and you still don't. For whatever reason, the game will glitch out, and you're still on a cloudy day, even though you've just wasted, uh, 9 days of game credits fast forwarding through. So again, last week or so, I've been playing with this, just trying to improve it and just kind of see if there's any particular spots or locations that might be more active in the down peaks. And if I find a great system, I'll pass that along in some of my videos. Again, I've tried putting out all 4 rods before and spotting on top. Now, if I was on a sunny day, I'd already have action, but I kind of think that just for the game's perspective, for whatever reason, it seems better to probably spot prior to, but it kind of goes against what you would think just thinking about it. You think that you'd put all your rods out in real life and then throw on top of it, but again, I don't fish for them in real life, so maybe one day I'd like to. Okay, now we'll slowly add some rods in. Huh? Nope. I'm curious to see if we'll get one on that left, the pole on the left first, or one of these others that we're adding. Looks like we got one, and it was not on the one that we put in the water first, so. This might just be, I think this is just a trophy. Yeah, it's just a trophy or a regular common. Trophy mirror. It's a good sign though. Unique should follow, not too long. Alright, there's a nice one. Alright, again, we're fishing out of peak pretty much where it's dead, but I love trying to catch fish when it's supposed to be slow. Makes you work for it a little more. Grass or common? Ghost. Nice oversized ghost carp at night. And again, we're fishing dead out of peak, so we're not even up the ladder yet. When I first started experimenting with the night peaks, one thing I noticed is you can fill up almost a 1,200-1,500 pound net if you grind and go from spot to spot. You will have some slow moments, but again, like I said, just kind of widen your horizon, so to speak, and kind of get you out of your comfort zone if you're just used to familiar with just doing a sunny day mix and spotting for these days on the whatever seems to be 2 out of 20 days that you might find that you get that nice sunny peak here at Weeping. So again, I'm just showing you guys something a little different, even if it may get a little slow. You guys that fished here enough kind of can appreciate how slow the fishing can be if you're not on that sunny peak. So I'm interested to see if we'll pick up 2 oversized or not. Again, any of you guys watching or checking in and out and might watch this stream later, it can get boring here and there, but like I said, I don't mind being patient and trying different things. Because after all, we're playing a video game, and you can pick up on some trends, whether what night peaks you like or not, as well. So you're not just forced, and that's ultimately what I was trying to do, is just kind of figure out what night peaks are decent, what mixes you can throw together that will actually keep the fish somewhat active. I have noticed I have not got one bite on my boilie. And again, if anybody, I'm good at spotting and catching carp in general, but if anybody's looking for advice from the boilies, I got a couple of friends on my friends list that know a lot more about the boilies. And again, because I don't do this, I haven't fished for them in real life, but In other words, I'm not 100% sure what if you're supposed to be using citrus at a certain time or strawberries and bananas and all the other fruity kinds, but I'll just experiment through. Like I said, I just found this spot the other night, just experiment. Just gonna drag this one a little bit, see if I can get any action. There's one. Okay, well. Uh-oh. This might be a good one. And any of you guys that might have watched my recent clip I just put up on this, how to max drag this rod. This is actually an Express. My apologies. I need to turn my bait alarm down. But you'll find that the Express 7000 works great on the Event Horizon as opposed to using the Leviathan, because you can actually max drag this one. And I've caught a couple in the 90s on this thing, so I haven't had trouble still pulling them in, even with only 328 foot of line. But any of you guys unfamiliar with the how to max drag the Event Horizon, the bigger one, in other words, I kind of an unknown reel, or not very well known. The Express 7000 is a great reel, and the 5000. Okay, yeah, this is a nice one. And again, not to sound like a broken record, but that was the annoying part. I remember when I got all these carp rods and I was first trying to learn how to, I already know how to balance my setup, but I noticed, you get that big, once I was able to upgrade to the bigger Event Horizon, you put the reel that's supposed to go on and it's 57 pounds, but the carp leader they sell you, or the biggest carp leader, is only 56 pounds, so you couldn't max drag it. And I figured it'd work around fairly quick. Again, if you guys unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, check out that video. I explain in details on how to set this rod up. I'm guessing this is maybe a mirror or a really big common. If you guys notice, I caught this one just dragging on the bottom where I'd spotted. And again, I've never been spooled on this setup. Now, don't get me wrong, you're probably better off using a bottom rod, but like I said, I'm still learning my way around the boilies and stuff with some help of my friends on my friends list. Good grief. A big common. Nice. And again, as you can see, this is at night. out of peak, and I caught that on a boilie. Just a quick, just in case you guys didn't want to go back, but yeah, you can see you can actually max this out with the 7,000. A verse going to the one of these. That one you can max out, but it doesn't have the recovery and the pulling power, as well as the drag. You know, this one here is more comparable to the rod and reel setup, believe it or not. And I put mono on it, so just in case you were curious. Alright, we'll let this finish out and see what we get. Oh, it went off. Of course it did. That one, just let it go. I'll give it a couple more minutes. If not, we'll rotate somewhere else. And I kind of show you just kind of how I find new spots too. If you guys looking to find a new mark or just a way to go find a lot of marks on your own, it's fairly simple in my opinion. I just hop around. Again, if you look at this map, you can go in any deep spot really. And if there's a spot on this map that you haven't found anything, I normally just zoom in and you can find some of the deep spots like over here. You know, just set a marker and spot. See if this might be. Nope, that's a nice one. That might just be a regular uni or a small common. Yeah, that's not very big. Big grass though, I think. Alright, let's let it play out and see if the uni comes. So on one mix we got an oversized common and a ghost. And sometimes that might be all you can hope for is to get two oversized. But on a rare occasion I have got three, believe it or not, on one mix, even at night. So just give it a couple more minutes and I'll kind of show you guys how I'd look for a new spot. I'm going to try to look for somewhere that I haven't. I think that's where that fish monster is. I think this might be an older mark. Yeah, that's just. Boy, that's an old mark. 2020. I don't know if I've spotted that or not. Let's see if I can find that. Here, maybe? That's not it. That's a nice one. Right there, so it's that spawn point. Should be right here. Yep. Let's try this spot. Again, some of this might be a little boring to you guys, but I'm just kind of showing you different ways of trying and finding new spots. I've got a trophy mark there, so I'm just going to pick a spot that it's not too far of a cast. I'm just going to set a spot to throw some mix at, right on the edge, and see if it corresponds. Yep, perfect right there. And we'll see if I can get an oversized, just trying a brand new place. And fill that up. And I've noticed just fishing at night peaks and some of these down peaks, trying to, get the oversize and just a good bite in general. I haven't had as much success with the Grandfish feeder as I have with the Catfish Destroyer. Now on a sunny day, it seems to be the opposite. The Grandfish seems to do better on a sunny day or in ideal peaks. Again, just trying to switch it up, and that's just been my experience trying different things. Again, this one down here is not commonly used, but I've had success with it, so why not? Can we just pick the random spot? See if we can get an oversized out of it. Also, one thing weird I found on here, on occasion you can just go off on some of the shallow spots, believe it or not. I've even caught some oversized, just random places underneath a tree or whatever, just 60, 70 foot out. And it is just a computer game after all, but nonetheless, you would think a computer fish is even going to travel, and if you're spotting the water, it should attract them almost regardless where you're at, versus just throwing a typical bait out there and not spotting. Okay, usually at this point when I start adding rods slowly. Again, this is just me experimenting. Everybody kind of has their own way, so not knocking anybody else. It's just kind of the way I do it. And also, one thing I'll show too. Uh, a lot of people clip their line like that. In other words, you cast it out and you can clip it. Some people it'll speed it up. But one thing I noticed, even with the micro lag, what usually happens to me, and I'll just kind of give you an example. Let's say I'm going out here to cast and we know it's clipped. What'll happen to me is sometimes if it'll go way over, it just kind of slams and it'll miss where I wanted. As you can see, that's what happened there. So if anybody wonders why I don't clip my line, that's usually why. Sometimes I've seen it'll lag spike and then I'll cast it and it'll fall 10, 12 feet short. It seems like still, even with it clipped. So if anybody's curious why I don't clip my line. And I am on PS5. In other words, it runs a little smoother than the PS4. I remember playing this game on a PS4 and whew, I feel sorry for some of you guys that might still be stuck with those. It's still micro lags, but it's nothing as bad as it was on the PS4. And again, where I might vary from some people's opinions on spotting, it seems like, especially if I'm doing something like this where I'm trying to fish not in ideal conditions, on a sunny day, I think you can get away with it. But for whatever reason, I've noticed at night and some of these other peaks, if I cast out every bit of this mix, it just sometimes feels like it kills the water. So I normally get it down in the 40 to 45 ounce range. And then I'll kind of just wait, and then I'll use that extra mix that I have. I won't let it go to waste, but I'll usually just slowly cast it out, just kind of see what happens. But again, if you want, cast it all out or do whatever. And now just sit and wait. And also, give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta make a phone call. Okay, guys, sorry about that. Again, with these night peaks, you just gotta be a little more patient. Like I said, won't be nowhere near as fast as, trying to, uh, obviously, if you guys spot before you come to Weeping Willow, those sunny days are, not saying those aren't the ideal times to fish. Again, I'm just doing something a little different today with my first stream on Fishing Planet. We're just trying to catch, out of peak and different times. Cloudy night, but we have caught four, I want to say three or four. We started in a rainy morning at the worst possible time, and we got an 80 pounder in the rain. Both of these oversized were caught at a night peak at the worst possible time, cloudy. So, but again, I'm just giving you guys some variances on how to switch it up to something different. But one thing you'll find too, if you once you hit max, level 80, the game itself, other than doing comps, which I've been recently trying to do some of the comps and stuff, and it's been kind of a tough start, but you'll find, uh, I think with everything going on in the world today, they haven't been able to add probably another lake, or for whatever reason. I know Fishing Planet, I think the developers are um, probably been a while since they've put out a new lake, so to try to keep things fresh, I've noticed I've been doing different things, revisiting older lakes and going through that grind of just finding new things to do. So this is just one of those things. So if any of you guys watching that might find this boring, I think you can appreciate just trying to find something else to do to keep it fresh. Again, you could go here on a sunny day and catch all the fish you want, but just kind of showing you a way that I go through and find different ways to have fun on the game. So and that's ultimately what it's about, it's having fun. So, and I forgot to turn my bite alarm down. But without further ado, it is a horrible night peak, and it's cloudy, and we've spotted a brand new spot. Again, just trying to, oh man, this always happens. I want to juggle. Should I juggle? Probably not. And you guys watching this probably can appreciate too. If you ever tried juggling your rods and then you end up losing both fish, that's always a good moment. Oh man, I can't really tell. This one's a nice one too. I think they're both oversized. This one feels a little bigger. I can't tell. Is that a mirror? Oh, yeah, that looks nice. Watch it just be a 70 pounder. Oh, should I risk it? That one looks nice too. What'll be? Oh, did I just lose that one? No, I did not. Get over here. I don't know, guys. What do you think? This one? Oh, that one's not. Yeah, that one's definitely nice. This one. Let's stay with this one. Get in here. That other one might be a ghost. I have trouble. Some of you guys probably laughing at me, but you can recognize them a mile away. Sometimes I get confused with the. Usually the common sometimes fools me between the ghost until the ghost comes out of the water. Oh, this one's not just being normal, but nonetheless at night. Yeah, this one is bigger. Don't get off. Don't get off. Oh, let's see if I was right. Again, that's not a massive carp, but for night, I'll definitely take it. This one seems a little bigger, but maybe not. Or is it a ghost? Can't tell. Okay. Definitely putting up a more fight. Is that a ghost? It kind of looks like it. Or no, is it just a common? It's a common, it's a big one. Oh yeah, it's the common. My bad, guys. 72 pounder though. 72 pounder at night, and not an ideal peak. Again, just to show you, it's just now going up the ladder. And we'll see if, give it a couple seconds, see if it picks up. One more. Again, I said sometimes you can only get 2 oversized, but there's been times I've got 3, so give it a few more minutes and see what happens. And again, I haven't thrown out all my mix yet, so. Again, this was just a spot we randomly picked and threw some mix out. So normally what I'll do then is once I, if I can find it, there we go. That was the mark. I just put a mark there, and like I said, you guys that are going out, as boring as some of this stuff is, but a good thing to do is go out and explore. A lot of these deep spots, you can, just find your own little place. But I'll delete that one just in case you guys were curious where I was at. That is a nice size, unique common at night. So, and again, some of these spots I've noticed too, if you just go pick a random spot, let's say you wanted to fish here, even though you're not in the deep spot, you can still look for these little deep spots. Just put you a fictitious mark, so to speak, or just something to throw your mix at. I think that really just helps, obviously, so your stuff's all falling in one spot. But just a general rule of thumb, that's kind of how I found a lot of the spots that I went through on the map. And again, at one time, I had a lot of marks on this map. I went through and cleaned up all my marks. So I went and did the recatch, or just all the checklist, and I actually kept some of my markers this time. So I got some old markers and stuff on here, but just like I said, if you're just wanting to look for a new spot, go to a spawn point, and like even there, you could probably mark that spot and find a way to get over to it. And sometimes you can have a really short cast and spot. So we'll let this play out and see. But okay, give it a few more minutes and just see if something. A lot of times, if you keep track of your fish count, we've caught a leather or mirror, just a regular size junior, a little bit oversized, not much, but then we caught the common, so kind of, this might just end up being a trophy, which normally, sometimes you let it cycle out though, if you're a little patient. In other words, I've got I've got a late oversized several times just by kind of just waiting your mix out because, just at least been my experience at weeping, once you get a leather, then you'll get a mirror, you got the grass, the ghost. Just kind of keep track of your fish count. And sometimes, in other words, there could be an 80 or 90 pound opposite of what you caught, just waiting, and it just on the night peaks, it might just take a little longer for it to come in and bite. So I normally just try to stay patient. Again, one thing, if you guys noticed, that might have been watching the stream earlier, or you end up watching this stream. Uh, Same thing, kind of like with the feeder rod. Even though you can't put a bell on these, you can kind of just lightly drag this and sometimes pick up action. If you notice, one of the ones I caught earlier is another 70-pound unique carp I caught at night. I was just lightly cast past your spot point and then just kind of slowly pull it into it. And sometimes, for whatever reason, they'll hit it. Not all the time, but. Trying to see if that's going to flatten out or not. Can't tell. Maybe that might just be a normal. I don't think that's anything. No. Kind of tell because it didn't flatten out. I'm going to give one more chance. This is just kind of how I would do it. In other words, if you put your mix out there, sometimes you might only get that one or two oversized, but just if you feel like you don't want to waste your money, or sometimes I've waited there and just got a nice one, so I was hoping that'll happen, but maybe it won't. Some of you may fall I'm wasting my time, you know, slowly dragging this in, but I've did this before, testing out various mixes when I first learned how to spot, and I've actually had them, believe it or not, almost like a Nile perch following your lure, or any fish in the game in particular, just kind of following it to I've actually had them do that and hit me, 50 foot out or so. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to switch gears too here, and I'm going to try to play in that the barbell competition. May not be the most exciting thing, but at least I think I'm going to go give it a try since I got a spot rod and stuff already with me. We'll see how brutal it is. In fact, let me see. I've only played in that one other time. Let's see how. Just start. 30 minutes. Feeder tackle and a keep net. Boat usage during a competition is prohibited, of course. Rod stand, prohibited. 3 words. Larva. Not really all that good. I think I have all of that except the larva. $65 people register. You know what? Let's give it a go. Oh, hold on a second. But anyway, basically fishing out of peak and rain and the night peak, we still end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 oversized, which is still decent. Alright, I'm going to go get set up for that barbel thing and just do just a little bit of practicing. Okay guys, I think we're going to get set up and just try to quick practice and see what we can do with the... Another good thing about having templates. Bell on this. I don't know why there's not a bell on it. Of course it's full. Why wouldn't it be? Get rid of our rod stand. Probably don't need that big of a net. No boat. Okay. I assume you can spot. Yeah, they're spotting. Alright, let me clear up some mix real quick. Just freeing up some room, guys. I'm gonna try this barbell comp here, and it starts in 20 minutes, I think. So I'm gonna give it a run. See, like I said, I played it once before, but I wasn't spotting. I'm gonna try to spot this time. I don't know if you guys have ever wondered this. I wish they would just have like a miscellaneous thing when you have to clean this up and just throw it in one bucket with your spares or something instead of having to delete all this. Yep. That ought to be good. I think I was using Spawn sack or blood, I think I used for barbell. Hook sizes. Let's 8 maybe. 8 or a 6 I want to say would be good for the barbell. Two rods would be fine. That is at Tiber. I want to say, yeah, all through here is barbell. However, barbell down here. That's a barbell spot as well. I think I just spotted that spot. Delete that. Just a spot over here. Let's see. Those are all catfish. want to say this thing's a really weird peak too. Sunny. Starts in 22 minutes. Sunny and 84. The funny thing is, I want to say it's not that peak for sure. I want to say it's not that peak. It's a dead peak too. I want to say it's this, but it's 84 degrees, which is not going to matter too much. The last time I played it, if I remember right, it's a weird peak like this, which is not enjoyable. That's another reason I was practicing the, if you guys watch any of this stream at any point. Some of it got probably really boring, but that's the point of, a lot of you guys that, you go and grind lakes and you're farming up, you're going to be fishing, here and here, or you're going to be fishing here and here. And a lot of these comps will challenge you where you're fishing at different peaks, so that's another good reason to kind of practice out a peak here and there. But I want to say, I could be wrong, but I want to say this thing starts at like 1 and might go to 4, which would be 4 or 5. So we're going to try this right here just to practice real quick. And since it's sunny, I will be using this Grand Fish. Okay, let's see if we have any luck here. I kind of just label this comp time. This is if I'm bouncing around. Like I said, I just mix a bunch of stuff together, but I just want to see if what kind of luck we can have. And what's up, bro? Looks like he's practicing too. Anyway, I put a big mix together. I'm going to try. I've been doing on some of the other comps as well. I just put a big mix together. That way I can just keep steady bites. I've noticed I tried it a little bit with the flounder comp. Don't know if you can chum for them, but it did seem to help me. So I'm just going to attempt this anyway. Again, I'm not going to claim to be the barbell champion of the world, so, but it's something fun to do and something different. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. My second attempt hopefully can go better than my first. But I remember doing the recatches where I'd got this mark over here and I caught some nice barbell. Yeah, that's what he's practicing for. Again, probably 7-10 casts or so. Mixing a bigger mix, that way I don't have to keep remixing once the comp starts. Alright, let's see. I'll try spawn sack first. I just want to double check my peak. I'm pretty sure that's the peak this thing's in. I'm gonna say. Yeah, it's that peak. Pretty sure. Pretty sure it's way out of peak. If I'm wrong, then hopefully the fishing's better than this. What's up, bro? How you doing, Lee? Hold on. Of course I get a bite right when I'm texting. Of course I can't text. Oh man, was I off. Okay. Okay, he's saying 6 a.m. He would know, but I've seen him in a lot of comps too. Like again, you guys are probably gonna watch this stream and laugh at me, but that's okay. It's all about learning, right? I'm just trying to have fun, so I'm not looking to come in here and pull 300 pounds of barbell out, but I'll go and stick with it. I remember it was a bad peak. It must be. I don't remember it being a good peak like that, though. But I'm going to trust what he says. And right now we're stuck with this, so I can warm up anyway. And if you ever hear any bizarre noises, it's usually I got a couple cats. One of my wife's and one of my daughters, so if you ever heard weird meows or something in the background of one of my streams or videos, or I'm muting my mic, it's because my cats are talking or carrying on. So any of you animal lovers out there can appreciate that. I've watched several people's streams before and their dogs are going off, so hopefully you guys don't mind that sort of thing. I'm starting to wonder if... Surely I didn't use blood, did I? Spawn sack or shrimp or something would make more sense. Yes. I did use blood. Damn, that's a big one too. Blood on both of them. What's odd is I don't want to do that. Try blood. Again, I'm way out of peak, guys. I was probably wrong. The guy that's over here practiced it for this had said that it's a 6 a.m. peak, so. My fear is if I use blood, I'm probably going to pick up wells. And I don't really want to pick up a big one on this ollie. But I might try it anyway. Again, I hope this isn't a catfish. I know when I did the recatch, I'd caught a lot of barbel with the blood. Just experimenting with spot. I think that's a barbel. Yeah. Okay. And that's gonna be... How much time do we got? Got 8 minutes. Why does that keep popping up? Why is my chat popping up there? I'm gonna have to have my son help me with this stuff. So, guys, bear with me. This is my first stream. You guys can feel free to laugh and say whatever you want in comments. I'm not gonna take it too hard or anything. So, again, I'm just learning as a guy that likes the game, and my sons are both older, my daughter's older, so they usually make fun of me being technology challenged. So I'm not a big tech guy, but I enjoy video gaming and I love fishing in general. So, and I like helping people out. So I'm fairly good at the game. I'm not having delusions of grandeur, but I know my way around Fishing Planet. So I figured I'd go ahead and give it a try and just see if I can help anybody out. If anything, you can laugh and figure out what not to do in these comps. So. And maybe you'll pick up something that might help you, and whether it's something I did wrong or something I did right. So I have no trouble with people laughing at me. Again, I'm practicing way out of peak. A guy that I know has been in this comp. I typed and asked him what peak it was. He said 6 a.m. So I'm fishing in a horrible peak. But anyway, it's good practice to see what we can pull in. I'm not 100. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. See, I think if I use blood, I'm probably going to be ending up picking up. Let me double check that. I got that on blood. I think I'm going to pick up too many. Let me try one more. I'm afraid I'm going to pick up a trophy wells, and I do not want to do that. So I might have to go to spawn sack or something like that. And again, one thing you'll notice for you guys that might be laughing watching this stream that hasn't played in any of the comps yet, you'll see, especially something like this. Tiber River's been out forever, so again, I've been playing the game for about 2.5 years, and I just got in the comps probably 6, 7 weeks ago by now, 8 weeks tops, but or right around the World Cup thing. I did good on the World Catfish Cup. Me and my friend Bally, we were able to. We both made semifinals, and he kind of had a bad luck in the semifinals. I did make the finals, which I was extremely proud of, playing in a big tournament like that, doing the catfish. But other than that, all these things are new to me. So the point would be on these comps, you'll see you go and enter them, and some of these guys, and I'm not picking on them, it's just they've got this stuff down. So if anything, it's a learning experience. You can watch me fall on my face, or maybe I can finish in the middle of the pack, whatever would happen. I hope this is not a catfish. If this is another catfish, I'm going to have to go spawn sack. No, it's a barbel. Let's give it a try. In fact, I could probably just alternate. But like I said, I played in this once before, and you'll see how some of these guys have just been doing this for 5, 6 years. They just catch one after the other. Some of those total weight comps are tough, but the only way to get better at something is if you keep trying. So I'm going to play in this for my second time here in about 6 minutes, and we'll see how bad I can do. And you can laugh, like I said, and it won't hurt my feelings. I'm the type of guy that if I lose, I like to just dust myself off and get back up and try to go at it again and see if I can improve. So. But I assume they're probably spotting at least a little to keep the bite steady. Last time I alternated a spot, but I think my guess is they're probably spotting periodically and just keeping a steady bite. Speaking of which, might be smart just. And I think the last time I played in this, the only time I played in this one, I want to say the leaders probably had 150 pounds of barbel or something insane like that, and 30 to 45 minutes, however long this event is, and whoa. And those guys have been playing this for a long time, but hopefully a lot of times if I've noticed too doing comps as myself going on and trying to look at YouTube and other than I think than Super Dave and Krellick has some stuff up. A lot of times the people aren't talking and you're kind of just watching, so that's one thing. If anything, you're learning kind of. At least I'm talking so that you can either make fun of me or pick up on something. So at least I can give you a little bit of heads up so you kind of know what you're going into before you go into one of these things, because I think they can be intimidating depending on what event it is or what comp. I think a good thing probably if you're going to just start in comps, as I sit here and ramble, I would probably maybe pick stuff that you're good at catching, or some of your favorite things you like to fish for before you even begin to try to. Obviously, I'm not a guy that's going to come and try to farm barbel at Tiber River, so Food for thought. In other words, if you like shark fishing, then Don't Bully Me Shark and Blaze the Maze and all those would be a better comp to start in. You like Nile Perch, then the Nile Emperor, the big and the small on that, or the I think No Ruler, No Party, or I can't remember though, or maybe it's one long and one short. I can't remember. Those are both confusing. But okay, that's a nice fish. I seem to get a better bite on the blood. Okay, trophy, that's what you're going to want to get. And this thing. Alright, give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to play in this here in a second. We'll get started, but I need to get a drink real quick before this starts. Okay, guys, 1 second. One tip I'd give you if you're doing anything where you have to spot, since you're already at the lake, you can go. I've already got this mixed up. However, I'm going to go over the top of it and just re-add it real quick so I have it. And one trick I'll tell you, you can mix it before you go in, but you don't have to. I just have this loaded. Loaded by, I mean just have it, have everything ready to mix. And that'll save you a little bit of time. Again, another good reason not to put Catfish Destroyer, I would assume, on this is you don't want to get wells or big wells on a feeder rod, that's for sure. So I'll just go through here real quick. And in fact, I think I'm going to take this out. And let's go Crucian instead. Alright, I'm going to mix this, or I'm not going to mix that yet. What I'm going to do is disassemble this just to lose it because I got the Catfish Destroyer in there. I don't think I'm going to want that for the comp. Okay, now I'm just going to go to the map. Now that I've got that on, but I haven't mixed it yet, so. Okay, we're going to want to go there. We're going to enter in and see what happens. Like I said, any guys that might watch this stream, you'd probably laugh at me, but it is my first stream, so. Okay, so now that I'm here, okay, I was right. If I've seen that. Yeah, I was right. The peak's horrible. That league, I was wrong. And you guys that watch this stream, he was wrong. I was right. It's the most horrible peak you can find. Look at that peak. Miserable. And that's the thing about comps in general for any guys trying to learn this. Now that again, going back to, since I had that loaded up, see now all I gotta do is hit mix. Now I'm not, in other words, I don't mix it before I start, I'll mix it after. I've already got it all put together, so. Okay, see, and then with doing such a big mix, I should be able to... I should be able to get a lot of spot out of this, so I don't know, probably 7 to 10 casts just to keep the water going. Got 45 minutes to catch as many as you can. This is only the second time I've played in this, so feel free to laugh at me again. So I'll try to focus and talk at the same time. Again, I'm not editing anything. I'm just sitting here live, and if I get my butt handed to me, so to speak, that's just fine. I can take it right on the chin and just keep on going. I will improve, I assure you. In other words, something like this, you probably want to keep refreshing the water, kind of like I would when I would spot in any of the videos that I've told you. So I would assume that's probably what they're doing to get a steady bite. And there's probably, I doubt they're getting too many unis, but they're probably getting steady commons and trophies just by refreshing the water. So periodically I'll probably throw out 7 to 10 of these and just try to get a steady bite the best I can. And if I can finish in the top 30, 35, that would be great on my second go around here. Again, I'm not looking to destroy the leaderboards on a barbel comp. That's something I really wouldn't fish for, but that's what's available, and I might as well give it a try on my first stream, even if I do, well, I'm not going to get embarrassed, but even if some of you guys embarrassed for me that's played in this and maybe watch this video, that's just fine. Not hurting my feelings. It is a game, and I'm just trying to have fun, so. I think I've lost count. It might be 9. Let's do one more. Do one more and then see how many we can catch. My fear is if I stay with blood, we'll just have to see. I just don't want to hook into a big catfish. Really, truly don't. Now this, theoretically speaking, there's no catfish destroyer and no big octopus in it, so it should not, I should not get an oversized trophy catfish or something, I hope. Alright, here we go. Also possible they're putting something in their closed feeder. I didn't think of that. Maybe. Who's in my lobby? Okay, Lee. Lee's the one that said it was a 6 a.m. peak. It's definitely not a 6 a.m. peak. I was off by a little bit. It was actually a 2 p.m. peak. I knew it was a flat peak. Okay, again, what I'm doing is just kind of trying to troll along the bottom. There we go. Hopefully it's not a Wells. Please be a barbel. And not a catfish. If it's a catfish, guys can just laugh at me. I would assume most people are gonna. Okay, it's a barbell. That'll take. Hey, we got some points anyway. I wish I'd have paid attention how far that was at. I want to say it was 65 foot before I got a bite. Sometimes that makes a difference. I noticed I did the flounder comp a couple times and actually did okay in that. Don't get over aggressive with your reeling. Any guys that watch my feeder rod tip thing, I've noticed just from doing these comps, I started doing it a little differently. I'll give it a little bit of time, reel it, and like I said, you'll see that little meter go up. Or you'll hear the bell. So, okay, I got done spotting around 40, so I'd say, I'm going to say probably every 10, 15, 16 minutes, maybe 17 minutes, you probably want to respot if it goes too slow. Probably got to find the zone. If I don't get a steady bite on blood, I might have to switch to the spawn sack. And also, any of you guys that's just now are thinking about doing these comps, again, that's why it didn't matter if I go to embarrass myself or not. You guys are kind of going to be in the same boat if you guys have played the game a long time and been kind of scared to come in and play the comps. But even though some of them seem like they're unattainable or unreachable to get up there, it's something different to try. And as you well know, they haven't added a lake to the game in a while, so it's just something to kind of keep the game fresh for me. So that's kind of what I'm trying now. And what I should have did is paid attention where I got that bite earlier. Okay, it is around 60-some feet. Okay. See how that, and that's going to take it. There we go. That might be a Wells. I can't tell. I hope not. Nope, it's a barbell. Okay, one note we just figured out. So they're about 65 feet up for me. That's 2 at 65 feet. Okay, so let's try this. I may mess up, but let's, again, for helping you guys out on some of these comps. So I'm going to be a little more aggressive with my reel on here. And I'm going to take it to probably that 68-foot range and see if I get a bite a little quicker. You'll notice some of these guys are start running away with this. They got a trick down. So again, for me, as boring as it might seem, if this helps you guys in any way, that's kind of what I'm doing, just to pass the time and help some of you guys out. Because I would love some of the guys on my friends list that's been trying to do these comps with me. I would love if some of us, or even the guys watching, if any of you guys end up doing well and I've helped you in any way, shape, or form, then that's awesome. Okay, blood is working. I'll try to catch 2 more. If it gets slow, then I'll spot the water again. But let's just see if it wears off first. Okay, so we know they're around that 70 to 63 range, I think, on feet. So we'll get it there fairly quick and then wait. So let's start there. And again, you'll also notice, any of you guys that did some of these comps with me, you might be thinking you're doing okay, and then all of a sudden these bigger guys come in that's been doing these for a long time, and you'll just see them come in and just go right up that leaderboard, which is fine, but it's just kind of just something you can kind of watch and see if you guys haven't tried any of these comps. We're doing okay, but we have to get faster, I think. And again, you guys that feel free to leave any in the comments. If you guys can help some these other people out, you'll notice, just in general, if every time you enter a comp and there's, like I said, my hat's off to the guys that are doing good in these things, but just for the competitive edge, in other words, to make the competitions better in general, I think the more people you have, there's a catfish. That's what I was worried about. Just in general, to have more participation in these comps, I think, that would be a good thing as well. In other words, if there's so many people intimidated to try this stuff uh, and not seem foolish or like they're wasting their time, I think that the more knowledge that you can kind of share, and I'm not saying give away all your top secrets, but if anybody happens to watch this clip and or this stream, and you got any pointers you can give to some of these guys, that would be much appreciated, I'm sure. But like I said, they could be putting a mix in a closed feeder, but my assumption is they're probably just spotting. Yeah. Now, one thing you're noticing too, you're getting a lot, multiple trophies. Now, I don't know a fish count like I would on perch or something like this, but see that poor kid there, if you see, says humiliating. It's overwhelming for some of these guys, I'm sure. They come in, they want to have fun, and that kid probably hasn't even caught a fish yet, that COD Barnes, and that's kind of exactly what I'm talking about. You kind of need to be able to have somewhat of an idea what you're doing. But if anything that we've learned out here is, I gave you the mark, anybody that was watching the stream. Um, it's appearing like that 70 to 65 foot range is about where they're sitting. So my assumptions is, since the fish count, the trophy count, I think I've caught 3 or 4 trophies. And the bite's still active, so I wouldn't spot yet. But you guys see how I'm using my feeder rod as well. I put one of those tips and tricks up that I explained on feeder rods, but I noticed that doing the flounder comp. Okay, so spotted. Then I'm gonna give it. Let's give it one more cast before we respawn. But I think this part that we've kind of figured out together, they're about. I didn't get any action until that 70 foot range, so 65, 70 foot we know. I think the hook size were probably regular 6 to 8s. Barbless 1.0 probably work, you would think. But you notice there, just again going back to my feeder rod tip videos, I picked that up when I was doing flounder. You have to drag this a little bit. Again, if I don't get a bite fairly quick, I'm probably going to respot just to try to keep a pace. And I guess another thing we can figure out too. We know they hit that 70 to 65, but let's see what happens if you pull it in a little farther. In other words, what's the minimum amount that you have to be out? In other words, will they still bite around 50 feet? Maybe. I'll go ahead and try that now, and then I'll respawn. Again, if anything, I don't really care about my personal rating. Like I said, I've just started doing comps, so I'm not looking to save the world with my personal rating on a fishing game. So just here to have fun. And if I help any of you guys out just by my success or failure, then okay. Bid at 58 if this is a barbel. Well, might be a catfish too, but I know I probably should chum again. But I did have a bite there. So one assume maybe the 65 to 50 foot range, you might still be able to catch them. Looks like another one's getting ready to bite. Yes, he did. All right, now we're going to chum the water no matter what after this just to keep it fresh. Okay, and that was a smaller one, so I think that would probably be a good indicator since we haven't caught a trophy in a little bit. Probably just respot again. And I can't remember what I got in the first time, but I wasn't spotting. Or I might have tried to do one big spot, and then my spot just went dead, so My assumption is, again, they're probably refreshing the water, or they might be putting a mix on their pull itself in the closed feeder, but I do not know that. But anything, like I said, you guys hopefully can watch this, and if anybody's wanting to try to this comp, then at least you have a little bit of a head start instead of going into it barefooted, so to speak. And the great thing about these comps is once you've done them a few times, you can at least kind of feel like you're competitive. And again, just pick the ones you like, and if you're good at catching whatever fish and whatever lake, and you got your own little trick, then that would be the ones you want to start with, and then just go from there and branch out. For me in particular, there's not a comp that really scares me. Even if I go in and look stupid, I don't care. It's, again, just about having fun. So, and sometimes the ones that I do the worst at is the ones that I want to improve. So that's just my competitive nature of trying to learn and get better at things. So, and again, if you hear any cats in the background, that's my cats probably fighting. That's 4. Okay, here comes one of the big hitters. Toff, that guy, like I said, I'm not taking anything away from him, but he'll probably be in the top 5 in about everything I've watched, or everything that I've played in, and as I've watched the leaderboard go up. Oh, and if anybody else happens to watch this stream, um, how do you minimize that rankings up there to where, like, if it didn't want to have it on the screen and I wanted to minimize that with that arrow? There's probably a way you can do it on PS5. If anybody knows how to do that, please leave that in the comment section if you happen to watch this video either now or 6 months from now by the time I figure that out. Me and my buddy John's been trying to figure out how do you minimize that. So, in other words, if you just wanted to see what your score is and you wanted to kind of minimize that so you couldn't have to look at it, it'd be great. I'm going to do one more cast here and see if... Actually, let's do 2 more. And that'll give me enough to spot it out one more time. So I'm assuming you could probably, if you put up a big enough mix like this, you could probably get by with one big mix and then just do it 3 times, 3.5 times maybe in the 45-minute frame. So maybe every 12 to 16 minutes or so. Alright, now see that you're going to fall behind, I would assume, since you're spotting, and then it's come right back. I think I am going to stay with the blood until I see something otherwise. Alright. Okay, now I would assume if this works, I should start getting trophies again. Now, if you look at the leader, he's got 59 pounds, which is awesome. Not taking anything away from him. But you can see the wide skill gap on something like this if you don't know. In other words, that guy's experienced, and I'm not knocking him for it. It's just about getting better. But again, the intimidating part's when you come into these and you're not catching a single fish or two, and you're doing something horribly wrong. It's just, and even if you have a slower pace, obviously those guys have been doing this for a hot minute. So I'm going to slowly work this back to our strike zone, so to speak. So that's 70 foot to... I'm just going to sit there for a second and see. And hopefully they either respawn or there's an abundance of them. And if you spot right, hopefully that'll work again. But nonetheless, I still found a way to, I was in the top 6 for a while. So let's see if we can keep something going. And again, this is my second time doing this. I don't expect to keep up with these guys that are, look at that. That's amazing. 56 pounds, 59 pounds, 59 pounds. Again, it's just going to take you guys playing in a few of these things and pick out the one. I will say one that it's taken me a while, and my friend John and I that played Bally's on my friend's list. We played in this one. It's called, I think, Huge Eyed at the Ictuba. That thing, whew, we've gotten a little better, but that one we just can't figure out. And I think a bobber burbot, there's another one that's really challenging, so to speak. hopefully. There's another thing that I can tell you. One really miserable thing about comps in general. Again, talking about my friend I play with. It happened to him 4 times in a row. There's a thing where you can come into these comps. You can it can be something you even know how to fish for, and it's almost like the term that we've phrased is dead lakes. In other words, you can come into some of these comps, and for whatever reason, I'll give you one example. It's happened to me. There's a trout competition at Rocky Lake, and it's full of trout, but yet I went in there once and I cast the lure I don't know how many times. I fished 12 to probably 14 minutes straight and didn't get a single bite while everybody around me is catching fish. So I think sometimes, unfortunately, you'll get dead laked or an absolute zero bite rate, and those things aren't fun. And I'm not sure how they're ever going to fix that. But if that happens to you, it's just nothing really. I don't think you're doing wrong. It's just you've been dead laked. And I'm hoping that's not just what happened to me, but let's see if. Come on. All right, there we go. About that 59-foot range. All right, we got another one. Let's see if this is just a common or a trophy. It might be a common. Or a common. Nope. Nice. Okay, this is the common. Okay, so that one was 59 foot out before I got a bite. Let's try casting a little shorter. In other words, these guys got this thing down. Those guys at the leader, as you can see, they're battling neck and neck at the top with 72 pounds, which is a little over 2 times what I have. In fact, I think I'm going to try clipping my line at 65 feet and see if I can get faster bites from there. Okay, I got a bite. Okay, we're definitely under 65 feet. It's where it's. So see, there is something that you could adjust. You go to playing this. Sorry for any metric guys. I don't know the exact deal. So I've got this clipped at 65 feet. So let's see if we can get a quicker bite at that cast. Could this be a zone or a strike zone thing? In other words, if you see what I'm saying, I probably wasted a bunch of time casting 80 foot out to where maybe you want to be in that 65 that might just be a certain feet that helps. Let's see if maybe. Okay, it looked like something was going to nibble on it. And again, for anybody that might be watching this later, if I put this video up, or you're watching now, if you guys have any requests and you guys just want to laugh at me and you want me to try out a comp sometime that you've been curious on, see how it works, and you haven't found anything good on YouTube, I'm willing to try it out, even if I do horrible. So, in other words, I don't mind being your guinea pig. I just want to see something too. Definitely seems like it's just a certain range out there. You know what we might do? I'm going to unclip that. I'm going to try something because I could have been making a mistake too, but I've liked the blood better. But let's go ahead and try spawn sack just in case. Maybe it's a faster bite. I could have been wrong the whole time. Again, you guys can learn from my mistakes. We'll just see if it's any faster. We definitely started out hot, so you guys can figure out how to build off the start I had, then maybe you guys can score up there in the top 10 or so. Okay, we've definitely gone slow for some reason. I've seen that happen and pick back up too, so I'm going to try to stay positive and just grind through it. Boring or not, you'll see some of these comps you'll get in and your bite rate can be extremely slow as well. Alright, in this scenario, since I did two different baits, I'm trailing way behind, which I expected. You can see, I want to say these guys ended up like around 150 pounds last time I did this, so throw a couple more out. Okay, another thing you'll find too is you might be really getting, you know, going a good run on something like shark or something that I'm good at or perch. You can go on a good run and stuff, and then all of a sudden, some of these guys will enter this stuff late, and then all of a sudden, in other words, there's a lot of moving and shaking on the leaderboard. So expect that for any of you guys that are just now getting into comps. This time I'm going to bring it about that strike zone, and I'm just going to let it sit for a second, just see if there's any difference. Maybe I'm getting too aggressive with my dragging on the bottom. So I'm just going to let that sit for a little bit and see if anything improves. And then I'll inch it forward. Again, this is just like a lot of trial runs just to kind of help you guys out as well as help myself out and learn. Okay, looks like we might get a bite finally. Okay, we finally got a fish. Better not be a catfish. It's definitely, it can't be a catfish because it's spawn sack. Trophy? Nope, just a common. Okay, I'm going to get it back in the strike zone, about that 68 range. I'll leave it again. Again, I'll just give it a couple minutes here and see. But you can tell how far you can fall off a pace. Like I said, this is my second time doing this now, so I didn't expect too awful much now. Again, I try to, when I have the time, I come on and try to enter some of these comps just because it's something different. Again, the game kind of gets stale without them adding any new lakes and missions. Like I've got all the missions done, everything else. So again, even though I'm high rank, I haven't played much comps until just recently. So. But I can tell you one thing, I'm not noticing a difference in spawn sack versus the blood. It's still slow. So I may go back to blood. Definitely slow. Okay, I'm going to try two things. I'm going to go ahead and throw out the rest of my mix and switch to blood. Again, just trial elimination. If anything, you guys can look at a lot of stuff that I might have did wrong in this that you do differently and just adjust from there. But again, I think watching people do these things and actually talking through it as we're going probably helps some of you guys out, and hopefully this will help you improve, and maybe you can get in the top 15 or so if you can figure out a system on it. I don't know the exact format in regards, or the schedule, I should say, but I want to say it's on a weekly cycle. So if you find one that you like, in other words, they rotate in and out. So if it's one that you like, then you can practice for it. And you kind of got a good idea on the peak and everything. It is that 2 p.m. sunny peak at the pretty much Death Valley, so to speak, in regards to bite rates. I'm looking at the leader again there. X Series Toffee's up there a lot. So, he probably played, he plays in a lot of these things, so he's definitely got his system down. Maybe you guys got another place that you like fishing, and then that's the event. Let me show this marker again, just in case. See, I've caught them off of blood, and that was an oversized one. I did that during doing the checklist on this lake, so if that helps you guys out. We're gonna go ahead and let's switch to blood. Again, on these things, you can pause to save yourself time, so you're not running your counter. But just from what I've just did in this comp and the last one, it seems to me I like blood, but maybe spawn sack. Maybe there's a different bait that you guys like. Maybe night crawlers. I think night crawlers work as well. Peas, maybe even. I don't think you want to sit and pick up carp though, so I'd probably eliminate peas. Again, you can see at one time I had 29 pounds and I was keeping decent pace, and then I just fell off. So maybe they might be rotating. They might be staying in this general area and just casting at different spots. So okay, we are getting a bite finally. We did, and it went away. Let's see here, maybe come back. And again, a lot of these comps you can have everything planned out just right. And in other words, if it's something I was more experienced with, I've experienced this before going into carp or perch or any of those things that even some of the catfish events, you can, for whatever reason, the luck will not be with you at all. Maybe we can pick up a trophy. That would be nice. A few points anyway. Nope, just too common. Now I'm going to try, our strike zone was a little farther up, but let's go ahead and, I'm going to try that at 75 foot. Nothing to lose at this point, right? Again, I was expecting, 25 to 45 range as far as finishing. No telling how far these guys are going to go. But again, this lake's been out forever, so I would assume this comp's been out forever too. So in other words, if this lake's been out for 5 years, and a lot of these guys have been playing this 5 years compared to my second time entering it, I'd expect to do bad. But any of you guys that are, like I said, ranked up and looking to do something different, you might as well just at least try to give the comps a try. Figure out what you like, what you don't. There's another one. Definitely not very big, and it might be a catfish if I'm looking. Yes, it is. Beautiful. Kind of expected that almost. Almost expected that to happen. Okay, I tried leaving that out there at 75 foot, so it seems like the strike range again is at 65 to 68 feet almost specifically. So hopefully that helps somebody. And again, they could just be casting to the right and moving down a little ways as well. So something to experiment with if this is something that piques your curiosity and you're wanting to try the barbel gint hunt on Fishing Planet. Yeah, like I said, I thought they were in the 150s, but yeah, it's a lot of barbel. They're getting a really steady bite, so definitely something to build on. So hopefully next time I play, I can get in at least 60, 70 pound range, I hope. Again, I'm not a guy that gives up very easy, so I'll keep trying at it, and maybe eventually have a better system here. Come on, give me one more fish. We're running out of time. Let's try to catch one more. It's got 2 minutes. We had a bite, but I don't think he's going to take it. And it looks like we're going to end in stalemate. So if you guys see what happened to me, I had 29 pounds fairly quick. It fell off, and it just pretty much went dead. So from there, like I said, you could either rotate or um, maybe I didn't throw enough spod mix out to start. So, but I'd want to say you'd probably have to refresh periodically. All right, guys. Well, we're leaving in the top 30. A lot to improve on. The guess is probably going to finish 40th or so, but we did get three trophies. So, and fairly quick. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 trophies fairly quick. So, uh, I think you guys could probably improve on that drastically. So anyway, I think that this could probably help some of you guys, hopefully. Probably what to not do. So again, I don't mind falling on my face. So I hope you guys can have better luck than I did at it. And that one there is pretty much a lucky one, so I probably won't be entering any more of those. Not today. That one's not really all that fun. Yeah, so. Alright, guys, I think I'm going to end the broadcast here. And if you guys liked any of the content and liked seeing something a little different and needed help in comps or anything, um, like I said, I don't mind experimenting and going into one of these kind of blinds, so to speak. I've played in quite a few of them. The ones I think off the top of my head, that the Nile Perch ones are fun. That's definitely a great one. Most of the shark ones are fun. Again, having more experience at the bigger lakes. But again, the carp ones are fun. I think the bream one's not bad. There's a couple of Tuba that are fun. The eyed, it's not for everybody. I wouldn't recommend that one until you know how to catch the eyed. But hope you guys enjoyed the first stream, and hopefully I can build off of that. If you guys did like any of the content, please subscribe. If not, that's fine too. But hope you guys have a good day, and we'll see you next time.